I'm back. Welcome back to MTR, home to the loudest space bar in the business, and of course my reaction analyses to all different kinds of music. The NF journey continues. Thought I'd do a little bit of a warm-up before the Perception album. If you haven't seen my other stuff, please check it out.
Yeah.
I don't know why this was released, what the history is.
Yeah. I'm the type to rent a hotel room just to feel at home. I'm the type to rent a hotel room just to be alone. Yeah. I got an issue with people pretending they like what they don't. Please don't bring up my issues unless you gon' deal with your own. Please don't try to...
Stopped it there for a reason. There are things I actually expected, but that did not happen. I was really expecting, because there's a really cool riff, and I anticipate that it's going to go on throughout the whole piece of music. Again, in minor tonality, and NF has this really... It's not an obsession. It's not. It's a tendency to compose, or at least, I know the producer does it a lot as well, pieces of music in minor tonality that is, in our Western cultured ears, we listen to that and feel like it's sad rather than happy. And this is that again. And most of his music is using minor tonality, and I like minor tonality better too. But that also might go into the fact that he's expressing a lot of issues, and he's expressing a lot of sad, traumatic, anxiety-induced. So that could be the difference. But when we look at a lot of the other pieces of music which are religiously inclined, like Oh Lord and I'll Keep On, they're all in major tonality. So it's quite interesting again. I expected a beat drop by now. I expected it just before he started rapping. That's about to happen, but it hasn't happened yet.
I'm the type to rent a hotel room just to be alone. Yeah. I got an issue with people pretending they like what they don't. Please don't bring up my issues unless you gon' deal with your own. Please don't try to pretend like you keep it real though. Yeah, it's funny that you got a lot of money, but that money doesn't buy you skills though. I don't care if I am on the billboards, on the killing spree, I'm about to kill more. Got a chain on you, pay the mill for. I mean, what you people even live for?
Here we go. Bang. Cool.
We getting warmed up. Yeah, I said I was coming, I warned you. So close to the fans, I feel like they're riding my tour. But you wanna know what I do in my downtime? They come to my fortress. I apologize for all the corpses. It's a mess right now, but I haven't had time to put the rappers in the coffin.
I love this one. I love this one because I spoke about that riff, and it's still going on. It was in this kind of synthesized piano, but what really got me was before that beat drop, we actually had that riff in a strings section. It's still going on, not really much in the strings at the moment, but it was, and it helped build up. And if you got a feeling when listening to that of, how do I put it, anticipation, it was from that instrumentation. Rhythmically, of course, he's rapping using a lot of triplets as he does. That helps the build as well. This is cool.
I feel like they're riding my tour, but you wanna know what I do in my downtime? They come to my fortress. I apologize for all the corpses. It's a mess right now, but I haven't had time to put the rappers in the coffins. We ain't talked in like 6 years. Why you writing me now? I just turned 100K down just to keep the brand looking right now. I ain't bragging about the money, I'm just saying I ain't controlled by the bank account or the bank amounts. I'm a businessman, but don't touch my money, I don't play around. Lights out when the mic's out, but they hit the West Coast, hype crowds. I just put a record out. What you think I'm about to pipe down now? I've been looking for a beat, look what I found. Woo! I mean, everything is coming out of my mouth. Try to tell me, yeah, I ain't had the right sound. Oh, yeah, well, tell me what you think now.
I've got that issue. I've got that issue of not getting lyrics and music at the same time because I'm trying to listen for the music, and what's going on here, of course, is the use of instrumentation to create suspense and build up. So sometimes there's a lot more instruments being used, and sometimes there are a lot less instruments being used, so texture, and that's happening in and out. And hopefully you're noticing that if you've listened to some of my other videos, you'd see that that's something I pick up on, but it gets old when I talk about it too much. So I'm trying to really listen for the lyrics. At the same time, that riff keeps going on like as predicted. It's consistent. It's probably not called a riff in hip hop. I got to check it out. Let's get these lyrics up. Aha. See, I didn't pick up. There's a play on Oh Lord there. What did get me was the lyric where he said, "We ain't talked in like 6 years. Why you writing me now?" Is that somebody trying to hit him up because they want money because now he's made it big? I mean, this is after his therapy session album. He's nearly up to his Perception album, which again was seemingly quite big. So he is a lot bigger now than he was before. So is it about people trying to go, oh, I've turned you down, but now I want to come after you because it suits me? I did stop it at a place as well where there was just him rapping, so there was actually no instrumentation. Again, there's about to be a beat drop.
What you think I'm about to pipe down now? I've been looking for a beat, look what I found. Woo! I mean, everything is coming out of my mouth. Try to tell me, yeah, I ain't had a right sound. Oh, yeah, well, tell me what you think now. 2 records in the bag, I ain't done no. What's coming next year? Let me hear the drum roll. Don't flow. Anybody wanna be the one to make an issue out of nothing? I'ma hit you with my iPhone. I know, I'm a little out of hand now. I ain't looking for a handout. You ain't like what I was doing last year, which is funny, cause you're looking like a fan now. Are you a fan now? I kinda miss being broke. Now let me go back to my old days when I used to walk into high school and hand out my CD in hallways. I told all my teachers that I'll be a rapper. They smile and look at me, okay. It's a pretty nice dream, but you better get a real job. No way.
Love it. So obviously, like here, he's recounting, and we do take for granted, and that's what nostalgia is. Looking back and saying, oh, those were the days. And obviously he had feelings when he was broke, or he had much less money, he had no fame, and you look back at those days and obviously think about how things were easier. But don't we all look back at our childhood, or not all of us, sorry, but a lot of us do look back in nostalgia and think, wow, things were easier back then for XYZ reasons. However, I always say that when we're older, we're going to look back at these particular days and think, oh, things were easier or things were better for that reason. And look, I'm not talking for everyone. I am talking for myself, but also there are a lot of us who take for granted what was in the past. So that's us taking for granted. So let that be a message to don't take now for granted, because in 10 years' time, you're going to look back and say, oh, 10 years ago, those were the days. They don't feel like the days right now. They only feel like the days in the future. In the case of NF, I think it's not exactly the same, but there are probably aspects which are. What I love here musically is how he was recounting those days where it was much easier. He was in his school halls. He was handing out CDs to his friends or people around, and he's like, oh yeah, I'm going to be a rapper. And his teacher's like, yep, yeah, sure, okay. I believe you. But the use of production on that when they said, okay, there's that use of reverb or echo, which again, musically, it changes the sound or the tone color of the vocals. In this case, suggesting another person talking. So he could have just said, I told all my teachers that I'd be a rapper. They smiled and looked at me. Okay. He could have said it in the same vocal tone. They smiled and they looked at me. Okay. I don't know if that was the rhythm. But notice the use of the quotation marks in the lyrics as mimicking somebody else talking. The use of the reverb. It also happened for no way.
School and hand out my CD in hallways. I told all my teachers that I'll be a rapper. They smile and look at me, okay. That's a pretty nice dream, but you better get a real job. No way. Yeah, I live what you dreaming. I could do this while I'm sleeping. I ain't the type that'll bring up your name for nothing, but please don't give me a reason. I'm on the edge now. I ain't playing with you. Never really been a fan of taking pictures. I'm just being honest. Yeah, I'll take it with your show selling now. Better get your tickets out, Lord. I got a love for the fans. I can express what it feels like. Sometimes I wonder if it's even real life. Sometimes I look at the past and think about how I got here in the first place. You know the glove is my birthplace. I don't wanna be rude, but I can get you on my work. Say nothing for me, do it all the time. Yeah, they barely working while I'm working overtime. Last year they like, who am I? Now this year they like, you the guy. Here's a little something for your car rides. If they set up for love, they all lied. Yeah, you know the logo better recognize. Yeah, it's real music to the day we die.
The use of that riff. If I think about that musically, what made it was the use of that riff that was continuous and then putting that in the strings from time to time, which really built towards the end. It came back and I loved it. Obviously, as he does, the beat drops wherever they happen. Again, I think back to my first listening of NF ever, which was The Search. And that blew me away because of that unpredictability. And I haven't seen the same kind of unpredictability in NF's music with those beats. However, again, I'm still early on. I've gone backwards. This was lyrically, again, I have to look at it. That's my issue. But everything I said about that, again, hopefully musically, if you're watching, you can see where I was coming from. I will be doing Perception very soon. I will be doing a live stream very soon on my Thoughts of Therapy session as well. So please stay tuned. And let me know in the comments if you'd like me to do a full live stream listening of his Moments album. And I'd love to interact with you if you are there as well. Please, let me know in the comments, because that's something I would love to do too. Anyway, thank you for watching. Until next time.